Okay, so mini video today. I'm starting to take the back end out. Well, it's a bit of a false statement really. I'm not starting to take the back out. I already have started, and as you can see, all the ancillaries are stripped out on the driver's side. The wheel bearings out, the brakes are off, all the bolts are undone, top of the sway bar or anti-roll bar's done. The exhaust's off, and also the belly pans. Now I did video me doing this, but I decided to use a GoPro for a change. And it went disastrously. It was alright when I was videoing it, but when I come to download it and get the video ready for upload, that was just a nightmare. The video was about 40 seconds behind the sound. So I've gone back to my phone. I've got all my tools out. Got some extras there if I need it, although I know what I need because I did it yesterday. And I'm going to show you this one. Hopefully this video is going to be a little bit better. So basically the same as the other side. I did think about dropping the whole unit down as one, so I could just slide it out and there it is as a complete unit, but I do know that I'll have problems with getting the bearings out and that sort of stuff, and particularly this bolt here. So I thought I'll strip out the bits that I have to do and then just drop the control arms and the rear subframe down to expose and then get to the tank then. So I'm all right with this bit. This is no problem for me. The fuel tank is new territory, so that's going to be interesting. Yeah, so brake off, brake caliper off, the brake rotor off, the bearing out, disconnect the anti-roll bar, the drop link, take the rear suspension out, and then I should be in a position then to drop the subframe. I'm going to drop the subframe and the control arms together. Okay, so first off is the wheel arch liner, and these fixings here need to come out just to drop it, and I think there's a fixing underneath there as well that needs to come out as well. Yeah, so I'm going to get that done now. I'll show you when it's done. That's one. I'm not going to show you me working, but what I will do is show you the before, take the bit off, and then the after. Okay, so let's get on it then. Okay, so that's the wheel arch liner out. It's giving me my first look at the filler neck. It's the first time I've seen it. Never took a filler out like this before. I assume this is the filler neck. That's the vent. Looks like there's an earth strap here, and it connects into the tank down there. So that's going to be interesting when I get around to it. Wheel arches aren't too bad. There's a bit of corrosion here, but that'll all be dealt with. That's that bush is going to be a problem. I've got to buy myself a bush press kit, so have a go at that. There's the subframe. You can see the state of the subframe. There's my new anti-roll bar that I put in when I first got the car, and the new suspension that's gone in. So our next job is the brake caliper off, the bracket, disconnect the handbrake, which should be just a pull up and like that. That's as easy as that is. Pull the clip out, pop the cable out, undo to these 12 mils, and then there's some more bolts around the back here for the carrier bracket. Yeah, so that's the next bit, which is going to be get rid of the brakes. I think I'm going to do the same as the other side on this one, where I'll undo the brake pipe, the flexi pipe, and then just pick it up and put it out of the way for the moment, because I know that when I chase that back to behind the tank back there, I think, or here actually, and all the way back behind the tank, won't have a problem with that. I'm expecting to put new brake pipes on. Okay, So yep, let's get to it. Okay, so that's the brakes off and the disc off. Quite easy, not too bad. Torque's 45, I believe. 13 mils on the carriers, and that's a 16 mil. Okay, mate, nice and easy because they've been off before, so I'm not worried about that. Okay, so let's carry on. And what am I going to do next? I think I'm going to drop the sway bar, give these a clean up because these are the wheel bearing bolts. Put some lubricant on those so they come out, and it'll be PB blaster. I should do that first, let them soak a bit while I'm undoing the sway bar. Here's the fuel, here's the brake pipe all covered in rag, and then I'm going to crack, while I've got them off, crack all of the bolts that hold the control arms onto the hub. Okay, right, I'm going to get back to it, show you when it's done. Okay, so I'll clean those up and they're soaking. So while they're soaking a little bit, like to give it about half an hour or so. I'm going to take the speed sensor out, which is here. Just pop that 10mm bolt out, then a pair of pliers just to pull this plastic fitting out. As long as you're gentle, don't pull the cable, pull the plastic, you'll be fine. So then it'll be undoing that, that, take the shock out, and then I'll have a go at the drop links here, although I'm not hopeful. Okay, let's get that done. Okay, so speed sensor's out now and hanging down there. It does need unclipping from the shock, from the brake pipe, and then there's another little clip up here that you have to just flip off, and then it just hangs. So that's the one, that's the two, and that's the clip that just hangs on there. Right, next is going to be the headlight leveling sensor. I haven't made my mind up which way I'm going to do this yet. It looks like there's a couple of fixings here, and it looks like there's an earth or power or something there. That's just power, that's just needs clipping out. And then cutting the cable ties that are on my round adjustable control arm. That's the way I did it, just to get it back up and running. And then I might split it from here just to make it a little bit smaller, and then I'll see how far back I can take this sensor when I get the wiring out, because it seems to go up over the neck of the tank and then up there, so I should try and push it all the way back there to get it out of the way. I'm going to drop the subframe. Okay, I'll get onto that now. Right, so that's the headlight adjustment switch taken off it. This was an absolute nightmare. I don't know what it is about this car, but every connector that I come across is so difficult to undo. Anyway, it's done now, so what's next? Let's have a look. I think I might do a bit of work on the brakes now, both sides, because we're at that position now where brakes on both sides need to be done. I'm going to push this cable back over the top. I don't want to remove anything at the back of the tank until I can have a good look at what goes where. As I say, I'm okay with what goes where on this side, but as soon as I get to this, it's a bit different. And I'm going to take the heat shielding down as well, so I should take the back piece out and probably this piece out as well, just that to come out, and they're not in very good condition. So I might be doing some repairs on these. Okay, so yep, heat shielding next. Okay, that's the heat shielding out, and we do have some corrosion around the fixing points. So I've come up with a repair for that, or see if I can get some cheap second-hand ones. Okay. Okay, I've come underneath to have a look around, and I found something I don't like. My plan was to drop the subframe down and then drop the tank down, because I'm not sure about what's on the tank. But the problem is the tank strap here, which holds the tank up, bolts to the subframe on two sides. And you can see the other one just there. So the tank's got to come out first. Nah, I didn't want to do that. So we're going to have to go and have a look at my Bentley manual, see what connections are on top of the tank. I know I can get to them from the inside of the car, take the back seat out, so you can get to them. But I wanted to take the subframe down, then the tank. So I had plenty of access, plenty of time to tip the tank down and look what was on the top, see if I could get it. Now I've run it down to one marker on the fuel tank. I didn't want this to happen. Never mind, it is what it is. All I've got to do, I think, looking at it, is break this Jubilee clip, pull that pipe through and out. Probably leave that Jubilee clip on there. I haven't looked over the other side yet, but I imagine it's just the same. So I've just put some WD-40 on the cables that attach, handbrake cables that attach to the tank. I'm going to pull those through now, get those out the way, and then I'm going to have to go inside the car and have a look. Damn, never mind. You can see what I want to do it. It's in a right mess up here, all the way up there. Subframe's all rusty, so a good lick of paint on that. Right, okay, time for a cup of coffee and I think, and have a look at the manual, see what's on top of the tank, see whether the cables are long enough for me to drop the tank down and connect the tank up, to connect it all up, or disconnect it, sorry, without going inside the car. Okay, happy not happy, see you later. Okay, after the shock of the tank having to come out, I've continued to strip. I've taken the handbrake cables out now. So the handbrake cables fit in to a bracket, which is here on the handbrake cable. I'll just move that to there, which is there on the handbrake cable. And that bolts into this little hole here. And then this bracket, you can't get off the handbrake cable because obviously it doesn't fit through there. You have to take it through this hole and out of a hole at the back of the subframe in between the tank and the subframe. What I found when I was messing around with it is you can't get it out unless you pop this rubber grommet out. Once you pop that rubber grommet out and slide it up the cable, you can then feed that through there. You can do it, it's a bit fiddly, but you can do it. So sorry if this is a bit jumpy, but I'm lying on my back again. So both handbrake cables are out. I'm just about to take the shock out on this side. That's it. So I've got I think it's, what is it, 17 mil? Let's have a look what it is. 18 mil. 18 mil at the bottom and two 13 mils at the top. Then the shock will feed out the way. And then the last thing on the subframe, I think, is the brake pipes. I've left them till last because I know it's going to be a problem. I hope it isn't, but I think it is going to be a problem. Right, take this out. We'll get it done. One thing I forgot to tell you is when I was taking the heat shield off, I actually broke a stud, even though I put plenty of lubricant on it. So that's going to need to be replaced, probably with the riv nut. Okay, let's get this shock out then. Okay, so it's make or break time with these brake lines. So I've got a 17 this side and 11 that side. I've never known anybody actually get these off with air and braking. So they corrode that bad. They're just horrible. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get a 17 on this side and 11 on that side, and turn both at the same time. So sort of get a bit of force from here, a bit from there. Try and brake it nice and gently, because these brake lines don't look as bad as I thought they did. So these will probably stop on. But I don't know. I want to do my best. Wish me luck. Right, it started to move. And I thought, yay, I've done this. But if you have a look at the pipe, you can see the pipe and the fixing are moving together, because you can see that change in the black coating around the steel brake pipe. That's why. So I'm going to carry on there, but I'm going to say that this is going to break because of that. Okay, so let's get on. I'm 99% sure this is going to break. Alright guys, speak to you later. And voila, it's not. As you can see, that's the end of the brake pipe, and that's the fitting. Now, I sort of thought it was going to do this. I sort of resigned myself to putting brake pipes in. I've got the pipe, so let's just get this out, try the other side. Okay, see you later. Right, just about to start this side. Any takers whether this one's going to work or not? Personally, I think the brake pipe looks in better condition. It's still got the black coating on, so it's still a steel brake pipe, original to the vehicle. Prone to corrosion, obviously, because it's steel, with it being a brass fitting or a copper fitting. So yeah, let's see how we get on. It looks a little bit better than the last one, so let's see what happens. Okay, so I've just pulled the back seat up. I'm going to have a look inside of there now. These are the two access panels that get you to the top of the fuel tank. And I believe this side is the fuel pump, and that side is the fuel filter. I had a look at this where they were, because I'm going to change the fuel filter when the tank was out. So I think it's easier to do when the tank's out. So I'm just going to pop these off now and have a quick look at what we've got. Okay, so electrical connector must be the fuel pump. Let's just move that out of the way. And it looks like it's one of these connectors that rocks off. If you have a look at those arms there, it looks like you actually, some light on it, actually pry apart these two and then roll it backwards. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't have a lot of luck with connectors on this car, I must admit. So let's see if I can break this. Yep, that was the way it worked. It just rolled off the back. Must remember that when I take it back. But the inside of the connector looks clean. Inside of that looks clean. I should give it a squib of cleaner before I put it back together though. And the only thing that looks like I've got here is some sort of a, some sort of a hose there that's clipped in, so I should just pull that clip out while I can. Okay, on to the other side. Right, so there's a fuel filter. I think with this bit of tape on, it means that the fuel filter has never been changed, so it's original to the car. Looks like we've got a fuel connection here. That's got to be the supply, or is it the return? It's got to be the supply, because the return must just go back to tank, so it filters it as it comes out the tank. Looks like we've got 2 clips here to pinch and pull that off. And what worries me is if I can get down there, is all of these hoses down there, look, that I know are going to be on top of the tank when I drop the tank. And this is the bit that I was a bit worried about. This is why I wanted the subframe out first. The tank's got to come first. So right, I'm just going to disconnect that. I'm going to put some blue cloth in here in case there's any fluid that spills, i.e. petrol. And then I've got to wait for Lou to come home then to help me drop the tank. Okay, I'll show you when I've disconnected it. Yep, there it is, disconnected. A bit of fuel come out. Actually, it didn't face, so if you're doing that, wear some eye protection. Look, I had my glasses on. So this is all I can do from on top. Disconnect the wiring harness, disconnect the fuel supply. I know there's a return, I know there's a breather, I know there's an evaporation evap system on it as well, I think. So I'm just going to go and refresh my memory with that on the Bentley manual, and then I'm going to wait for Lou to come home. So I need 2 pairs of hands for this, so I don't want to do it on my own. Okay, so next time it'll be fuel tank out. Okay, so looking at my Bentley manual, it says unlock quick release fasteners arrows on activated carbon canister and detach vapor line. I haven't seen that, I'm going to have to look for that. It says to remove the breather hose and disengage the fuel filler neck vent line from the holder. So that's that small one. That's the holder there. And then this one, loosen hose clamp arrow and detach fuel filler hose from fuel tank. That's down the bottom, so I've already loosened that. And this is the bit that's worrying me. Unlock and disconnect quick release fastener arrow of fuel feed line. Now I don't know whether that is one that needs one of those tools that's double pronged and has to go in and get it. So that's a bit of a worry for me. I'm going to have to go and have a look at that. And then undo the bolts, and also remove expander rivets. Ooh, what are them then? I'll have to go and look at them as well. And then it's just unbolting it and dropping it down on a jack. Okay, so need to do that, need to check that, and need to do that. Let's get on it. Right, working on the fuel tank now to get the fuel tank out. I had a bit of a problem with this fitting. I had to soak it in WD-40 overnight, so I could undo it. I think the tank is all done now. So I've had a look at the video before about finding the activated carbon evap system. It's not anywhere to be seen around the tank, but I have found it because it's up in the driver's side wheel well, just there. So I've got to get that out, and it looks like the hose that runs over the back of the tank at the back, over the cross the tank, and then if I then come around this side, it comes in to the other wheel well here and up into the filler neck. Sorry about the video quality. Get some light up there. Yeah, so it's that corrugated one there. It comes up to the back of the filler neck there. One time use clips there. I'll have those out, and then I'll disconnect from the tank, disconnect that, and then there's a bolt here. There you go, there's that bolt. I'll undo that bolt, and then I'll do something with the filler neck. I don't know really whether the filler neck comes out into the wheel arch or whether it goes out of the side of the vehicle. So that's a voyage of discovery. So I'm going to get those done now, starting with the vapor recovery system, carbon release canister, the carbon activated carbon canister. That's it, that's the one. And then I'm going to come over this side. Okay, I'll see you later. Okay, so the activated carbon filter is out. It's what happens with this is when you fill the tank or the tank gets empty, and particularly when you fill the tank, this is a vent and it just stops hydrocarbons getting out into the atmosphere. Two fittings there, and there's the bracket up there that it sits in. In the Bentley manual, this showed it sitting at the side of the tank and it's a different one. This is more like the R53 one. So on very early R56s, looks like they didn't change it until a model year change. Okay, right, filler neck next. Okay, so the filler neck's out. Easier than what I thought it would be actually, but it did fight me a little bit. So 10mm there, 10mm there, and it just pulls out the back. It is a bit tight with the subframe in, so I think if I was to do it next time, I'd wait till the subframe's been dropped, just break this, just break that. They're going to stick some rag in there on the filler neck. Yeah, so there was this on it, which is an earth strap. So that went on to the Jubilee clip here. Let's get it. So that just hooked onto the Jubilee clip like that, and tightened up and wrapped around the hose and connected to there, so that'll get it all clean because it's in earth. Right, so this that's the Evap tube. So I think I'm going to leave that there now until I've started to drop the tank, which I am ready to do now. I'm going to see if I've got something to plug that gap, which is the filler neck, the bottom of the filler neck. There it is, look. Yes, I've got foreign bodies getting in the tank. There's my cup of coffee. Right, onto the next one now, which is undoing the bolts for the fuel tank with the jack underneath it, and let's see if I can get it down. Okay. See that, guys? Okay, let's try and make it a bit wider. Right. Okay, so we're ready to drop the fuel tank. So the fuel tank's got two straps on it. One there, and it's got 2 bolts at the front and 3 bolts at the back. I've tried to make it a bit easy for myself, so I've undone the fuel connection to the fuel filter above, undone the power connection to the fuel pump above it, disconnected the Evap canister, taken out the filler neck. So I've just got my jack now with a piece of board on it, so the board will go underneath the tank and brace across here and here, and it's down. So we're nearly ready to start the subframe coming out now. So take another look at the tank. Ooh. Right, so as you can see, I ain't been out for a while. So this is the fuel feed pipe, goes in there, goes down to the fuel lines. Oh, you can see that. Fuel feed pipe goes into there, and then that drops down the bottom of the tank to go into the fuel lines. There's 2 brackets, hold them up, There's a breather hose for this side. Look like 2 returns there, one there, one there, and fuel pump that side, fuel filter this side. This goes off to the Evap canister, the carbon activated carbon canister, and this one goes up to the neck of the fuel filler. So yeah, it hasn't been off before, has it? So now I shall turn my attention to, let's get underneath it, the subframe, which is one bolt here, one bolt there, and then I believe there's bolts around the back and over there, and it looks like there's one here as well. Looking at this, I might disconnect the rear control arms, because then this can come out as a unit and then this can come out as a unit, so disconnect them here. I'm going to have a look at that, because at the moment it seems as though, because the tie rods are undone, there's nothing that keeps those 2 units together apart from these. So might drop those and then drop the control arm down, take it out in 2. Okay, so let's see how we get on. So, why do the job yourself when you've got a Louis? So Louis is now just giving the bolts that hold the fixing for the rear control arms onto the body side, giving us spritz of WD-40, rub them down with a bit of a wire brush, and then we'll drop them out. Hey Lou? Ah. Okay. So this should just take the control arm off. We've disconnected the adjustable control arms here, so we can just drop the subframe down at a later date. Well, not a later date, sort of a later time. Okay, we'll have a look when we've done this. Okay, so one control arm out of the vehicle, and here's again. Louis under the car, just wire brushing the next one. So we'll get that out. Of course, safety first. He's got his safety socks on. He's never had an accident in them socks. So as to this one, yeah, the control arms have been dropped. So it's just that rear push bracket that we need to pop off. Drop it down, and then the subframe's coming out.
Go ahead. Start your jibber jabbering.
So we've broken the bolts on the rear subframe, and we're just putting the jack in position, so when we take the bolts out it doesn't drop on us. Okay, so there's 4 bolts to hold the rear subframe in, all 18 mils, one there, and the same on the other side. So
there's the one.
Oh, I think I just need to do these a little bit more. Ow. So the last time I did them, when I installed the anti-roll bar, I put loads of Permatex on them just to make sure that they didn't seize. Right, you want to do the other side. Right, 4 bolts later, and that's the subframe out. Thank you, Louis. So as you can see, it does need some TLC. It's in a bit of a mess. So I should be getting on that. I just hope it's not gone past me being able to recover it. Okay, so what does it look like under the car now? You probably saw my light flashing. Oh, there's the control arm. So there we have it. It's all gone, all empty. And I'm going to do another video where I've got some light underneath there when I've cleaned all this mess up, just to see what it's like before I start, because I've got to put all the brake pipes, do all the brake pipes now, do the fuel lines, and debride this, get it back to bare metal where there's rust, kill it, etch prime, some high build primer, and then I'll colour it. I might even put some anti-chip on, see if I can make it last a bit longer. Okay, so I'll show you a bit later. Okay, so it's all out now. So all I've got left is the brake pipes and all the fuel lines that need to be moved to get me into a position where I can start the clean up and the de-rust. And my plan is to take some videos and photos of what's here, where the way it runs, disassemble it, strip it all out, push it all back in the car, like the cables there for the speed sensor and the brake wear. There's a little grommet there. Pop that grommet into the car, tuck them back in, and mask it over from the inside so nothing grabs into the inside of the car. And then to start de-rusting this lot, I will leave all of the stuff that looks good alone and just paint over the top of it, I think. I shall obviously put the fuel filter and the fuel pump access back on top. Anything that looks good like here, we'll just get clean, and then where it's rusty like here, we'll get a bit of treatment, I think. Yeah, so this is going to take quite a long time. I think 2 to 3 weeks to get it all done and dusted and cleaned up. Don't know what I'm going to do about this yet. It's all clean, but just get it clean. But I'm not going to abrade that and clean that up. I'm just going to clean the rust off, kill the rust, and then repaint and do what I need to do. Okay, so that's sort of it for the strip out. The only strip out I'm going to now is drop the brake lines, drop the fuel lines out the way, put them underneath the car, because I should be dropping some masking down here where I'm working. I was going to buy new speed sensors, new brake units, new handbrake cables. I don't think I'm going to bother. I think I'm just going to clean up what I've got and then work on it that way. Because if it's working at the moment, it'll work when it goes back in. If it doesn't work when it goes back in, super easy to change. So that's my plan. I didn't plan to do the wheel arches, but looks like the wheel arches need a bit of TLC as well. So I should probably just come to the back to this flange here, and I shall have a look at what I need to do at the back here. Obviously I've got to do that, but I should probably stop there. I just might do the rear bumper bar, but take the bumper off to that. Ask me more on sport a bit later. Okay, so it's all done. This will be a video now for the cleanup, for the strip out, sorry. The next video will be getting this to a position where it's good enough to start putting the stuff back in, including cleaning all the bits that are taken out, and then that'll be another video, and then the reinstall will be another video as well. Okay, so I'm going to get back to it tomorrow, that is. Alright guys, have fun, stay safe. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's free to subscribe. You just get access to the videos when they come out. You get a little notification that says that I've launched something, new video in YouTube. So like and subscribe, click the notification bell so you get my videos when I upload them. Any questions or any comments or anything like that, stick it in the comments. I do answer the comments, and I'll get back to you. Alright guys, so I'm off now. Something to eat, cup of coffee, and that's me done. See you later.